Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is TELAAH. Now we're going to learn about introduction. This is the junior high school material. Okay, let's talk about introduction. Introduction is an expression used to tell the identity of oneself as well as others. This is the several of introduction. The first is self-introduction. The second is introducing people. The third is asking for and telling one's name. The fourth is asking for and telling address. The first is self-introduction. Self-introduction is when students are given the opportunity to introduce themselves. It means like students will introduce themselves to other people. And the second is introducing people. Introducing people is learn how to introduce other to another people. It's like when you have a friend, you can introduce her or him to other people like that. And the third is asking for and telling one's name. Is an expression that is usually used to ask other people whose names we don't know and how to say the names and their spelling. And the fourth, asking for and telling address, an expression commonly used to ask for addresses to other people that we don't know and how to respond. For asking and telling one names and telling address, it's like a similarly, but the difference is name and address. And this is the self-introduction expression. If you want to introducing yourself or your name, you might be use I am in the first and adding your name or your family name. For example, I am Tiara. My name is nice to meet you. I am pleased to meet you. Let me introduce myself. I'd like to introduce myself. Let me introduce myself to you. Allow me to introduce myself to you. And this is the introduction people expression. When we are going to introducing people to other people again, we have to get the permission from them. For example, may I introduce you to Hannah? Let me introduce you to. I'd like you to meet. I don't think you have met. Do you? You haven't met. Have you? Have you met? Do you know? This is the response of introducing. It usually like, it's nice to meet you. Nice meeting you. I'm pleased to meet you. Happy to meet you. Glad to know you. How do you do? It's an honor to know you. It's my pleasure to have acquaintance with you. And this is asking for and telling one's name. In this section, we can use this for asking people to know their name, or we can get the clearly people names with this. The first is, what is your name? And the response is, my name is, for example, SELEKTA. And the second, what is your nickname? And the response is, my nickname is SELEKTA. Or we can use direction like Adele. And the third, how do you spell your name? And the response is Adel. And the last is asking for and telling address. And this section is same as like before, but the difference is the before is we're going to know the name, but in this section we're going to know the address. Okay, let's see the expression. The first, where do you live? The responses is I live in Cimahi. The second, what's your address? The responses is I live at 56 Kahuripan Street. The third, where are you from? The responses is I'm from Bandung. And the last, where do you come from? The responses is I come from Cimahi, Bandung. Okay, that's enough for the material. And the conclusion is introductions are very important to know. Used for telling to others that we have an identity. And thanks for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.